everyone, and welcome to another episode of CUNY Uncut, where we talk about anything and everything, uncensored, unedited, and uncut. And today, we are talking music. It's music to my ears. We're here today with a Brooklyn College senior who has been making her way in the music industry, booking gigs, and then hitting the books. Additionally, she's the star of CUNY's first Super Bowl ad. With the goal of being a Latin pop star, she's building herself up as a music technology major. Streaming platforms know her by her artist name as Yo Unica, but I would like to give a very warm welcome to Emanuela Troianiello.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time today. We appreciate it.
Of course. I'm happy to be here.
Well, I wanted to start off with that artist name that you came up with, Yo Unica. Can you talk a little bit about what that process was like?
So at first, I really wanted to use my name, but I found out there's a really famous singer called Emanuela, so I'm like, okay. And we also really wanted, me and my producer, to have a name that was Spanish, but at the same time I could use it if I ever wanted to do English music. So I was like, I think my music is unique. And then I'm like, wait, low-key in Spanish, this sounds cool, Unica. And he was like, okay. And then he just came up with Yo, because, New York, Yo. And we're like, Yo, Unica sounds cool. And we kept it. So it's like a mix of the New York and, the Latin part of my music.
I like that. I think it's definitely very fitting for New York as well.
Yeah.
It relates to all the people here. But I wanted to ask about, how you originally got into music.
I was like 5, and my mom always played music around me, and I remember just singing along. And she was like, well, you're kind of good at it. Let me put you in choir. And I enjoyed it. So then I just stayed in choir for many years, and I realized I want to do it as a career.
Nice. And I know that you didn't grow up in New York City. Where did you grow up? How did you originally get into music there?
I grew up in a small town. It's called Fano Marche. It's in the Marche scene in Italy.
In Italy, just
in Italy,
casually.
just casual. Yeah. As I said, it was only me and my mom, so she would just play music around me a lot. But she would always play Latin and Spanish music. Maybe that's why I always enjoyed Spanish music a bit more. I don't know. My mom not used to, but she loves partying. So do I. So I remember I was singing every party. She'd be like, "Oh, my daughter sings," and then I would sing, and that'd be her little flex. But in the Italian sense, I've never really sang in Italian. Although I should. Maybe I should try.
Maybe. That would be your third language that you're singing in?
Yep.
Trilingual?
Yeah.
That's insane. That's very cool. But why did you originally want to sing in Spanish for the majority?
Oh, honestly, I don't know. I felt more connected to it in a sense, or more closer to my mom. She's a big part of my life and a person I care about. So it made me feel closer to her.
Is your mom Italian and just really likes Latin music? Or?
No. She's Cuban. She's the Latin part. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, she's Cuban. So she would bring me with her to Cuba all the time, and maybe that's what raised it.
Gotcha. So how long were you in Italy for, and then when did you end up leaving?
I was in Italy till I was 11 or 12, and I left early 2016. And then for a year, we were just here and there, trying to find out where we wanted to stay at.
Where's here and there? Brooklyn or
No, states. We did not know where to stay.
Okay.
Yeah. We stayed a little bit with my family, and then she wanted, to find somewhere to stay with her daughter. And I think one day she was like, would you like to go to Vegas because I have a friend there, or would you like to go to New York?
Wow.
And I was like, New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you came to New York, what was that process like? Did you speak English at that time?
Oh, no. Not at all.
So where did you learn how to speak English? That's insane.
New York. I was 12 or 13. It took me a year and a half to get kind of good at it. I still had a strong accent, but...
A year and a half to learn English is very good. I mean, I think you got to give yourself a pat on the back for that. I can't imagine learning any other language in that amount of time.
Oh, I'm very competitive. I was like, I am going to learn English, y'all. But yeah, I also love to hear like, what people are talking about. I'm like, I need to understand what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
And I did.
What was that process like for you? Was it difficult to learn the language for a first time, speaking Italian and Spanish?
Oh yeah, it was. English, it's very different from Spanish or Italian. Because, Latin languages, they kind of are similar. English, no, not at all. No. But I think, I used to like watch TV in English, have my phone in English, and also not be scared of trying new things. Like if I said something wrong, okay, I speak more languages than you. So like that was always my comeback. I'm like, okay. But yeah, I was never afraid to like be wrong because, by trying, that's how you learn.
That's fearlessness. You're better than me for that because I'd be so scared to do any of that. But that's quite a process, like living in a completely different, country and continent, until you're 12 years old and then moving to the other side of the world and having to learn a new language. Yeah. How did you continue to do music throughout that time?
I remember for a bit I didn't do music just because it was so overwhelming to be in a new country and I was so focused on learning the language first. But I was like 13. I was in middle school. I did like this after school program, and although I didn't speak English, I was singing. Like they were giving me song. I was singing. They had a little studio, and that's what got me back into it. That little program, and I also found out I really like writing songs. I wouldn't write them in English. I would write them in Spanish, and then the professor would be like, "The melody is good. I don't know what you're saying, but the melody is good. Good enough."
So you were how old when you were starting to write songs?
Like 12.
12 years old and you were writing full-blown songs?
Yeah. Well, they were not good. They were not good. But I started.
Well, I mean, the same thing with the languages. You could say, I've written more songs than you and you're 12 years old.
True that, yeah.
Well, tell me about that process of like your first songs and what were you like talking about and what was your songwriting process from then until now?
Well, I remember my first songs were about anything. I wanted to be very creative. I really wanted to be different. I've learned it's okay to be like others sometimes because everybody is different. Like we are different. The music could be similar because there's so much music out there. But I would write songs about the space, friendship, breakups, although I'd never been in a breakup when I was 12, Literally anything and everything. I was very creative. I need to get back to that. But yeah, at least they were catchy, I remember, and made no sense. They made no sense.
They only need to make sense to you at the end of the day, right?
Exactly.
So you're writing all these songs, growing up and doing all these different things. Mm-hmm. When did you pivot to writing in Spanish, or were you always writing in Spanish?
No, I was writing in English too. I think I decided to kind of stick to Spanish mostly because I'm better at it. But also I feel like I express myself better in Spanish, and also since that's like the music I consume, it comes easier to me, right, in Spanish. But I do love, I don't know, doing things I'm not good at and getting better at things I'm not good at. So I am focusing right now on writing music in English.
Nice.
Yeah,
okay. That's very cool. Well, I guess we should kind of transition to how music plays a role in your life now. But I first wanted to ask, why did you end up choosing Brooklyn College?
Oh, I decided on Brooklyn College, I remember. I think because I have like a good music program. And also it's kind of close to me. And I also like the campus. It's very pretty. And I feel like everybody is very friendly. Campus is cute. Yeah, I just felt like it was for me because I also went to City College for like a summer because I am in the SEEK program, so I did like a summer there. And then as soon as Brooklyn was like, okay, you're in, I'm like, ooh, nice to see you guys. I'm leaving, Yeah, see ya. But City College it's very pretty, but it's so far.
Yeah, where are you in Brooklyn? Is that
yeah, I'm in Brooklyn, but like Coney Island.
Oh yeah, that's a commute and a half. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. So I was like. But also I like the food places that are near, the community. I don't know. It just felt more like more like me. Yeah.
So I take it that Brooklyn was a good decision for you?
Yeah, I don't regret it. I enjoyed Brooklyn.
So we kind of skipped over a little bit of a portion of your life with high school. Were you still doing music at that time, or what made you want to pursue music as soon as you got to college?
Well, while I was in high school, I was in choir and I was writing here and there, but I honestly had like a little crisis. I feel like everybody does. And I was like, maybe I should try something else, So like my first semester, like like my first semester, I think I was just figuring out what major I wanted to do and if I wanted to stick to music. Because for a lot of people that do, art or like anything creative, we're like, is this realistic? Am I gonna find a job after this? I mean, it's scary, but I feel like it's hard to find a job in any career you want. So I was like, you know what, maybe I should just go after what I truly like and what I know I'm gonna put work in. Because, if I'm gonna pursue being a nurse, like what, most people do that, I don't think I will put work in and I'll probably fail all my classes. So I'm like, maybe not. So that's how I decided I wanted to do music. And at first, I think I wanted to do music performance because I sing. But music tech called out to me. I was like, this is so cool. Learning production. I took an Ableton class with like the professor that
We share a professor?
Yeah, like the music tech class. He also works at Hunter.
Jacob,
yeah, I
Oh
had
my
him. He was
God.
my first professor, like in my music tech classes.
So we go to completely different schools in completely different majors, completely different programs, and we've had the same professor.
Yeah.
That's CUNY for you.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
literally CUNY for
We
you.
share professors.
Well, tell me about that process of choosing music technology over, music performance as a singer. Why did you want to get involved on that technology side of things?
Because it's cool to know how to produce your own music, And also, when I'm in a studio, I'm like more knowledgeable. Like I know what I want to do, how it would sound, and I could tell my producer like, I think you should do this instead. Put some panning on that, actually, stuff like that. But I also love being in a studio and like the environment. So anything that has to do with the studio, I'm in. Music performance is more like classical music, there's nothing wrong with it, but I don't think it's my vibe.
And that's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. Okay, very cool. Well, how did you, get involved in getting into the studio and making music, and what was that process like for you?
It was like a year and a half ago. My producer used to be my music teacher, actually, the one that I, told you about in middle school. He came back from Miami because he was living there for a few years. And he asked me to go to the studio that he has in Jersey. And I haven't recorded in an actual studio in so long, in that time. So I did, and then rest is history. Like, I just started going to the studio every week. And I think now I have like 40 songs recorded in the studio. They're just not released yet, but, I've recorded a few songs.
Wow. So how many songs have you released then at this point?
Right now, only one, but it's because, with music, it's like all about marketing and promoting and all of that. But also, right now, I'm also focusing in getting better at performing. I don't know, I just want to like get better at my craft, like full on.
Yeah,
like
makes
now I'm
sense.
good at studio. We're good with the recording part. The vocals are down. But like stage presence, I want to have that and I want to get better at it.
Yeah.
So.
And tell me about the song that you have out on platforms already.
Ooh, it's called Tu Favorita.
Aprende a afinar. Te doy la gracia por enseñarme lo que no quiero jamás. En tu cabeza siempre seré tu favorita. Y la vuelves a la cual necesitas. Siempre tu favorita. Aunque sabes bien que ya no soy la misma.
That one I really love as well. It's very catchy, very summery. Me and my producer decided to release it because it's also very me. As I'm very confident, and the song just talks about like being your favorite. Like, when you have a relationship, you're always like, well, you're not gonna forget about me, That's what the song is about. And the beat's very like fun, very easy to listen to. So
I was listening to it before we hopped in the studio today, and I was like, ooh, this is a banger.
Thank you.
What went into that, songwriting process and recording process?
Ooh, I wrote that actually 2 years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
sometimes it's okay to take like the lyrics that you have written like years ago and go back to it. So that's what I did. I was like, wait, this song is fun. Let me get back to it. So my producer like played this beat. I really liked it, and then I just rewrote the lyrics and formatted it to the beat because it didn't match like melody wise. And I was like, wait, this is so catchy, and it was so easy to record too. Like it just came to me because it's very very vibey. There's no crazy vocals and nada. My bad. Nothing crazy, but sometimes like you don't have to get crazy. Sometimes music could just be fun. Doesn't always have to be like, although it is hard.
Well, I mean, there's also levels to it. There's your fun music and then your more serious music that talks about something more important.
True, I do have those too.
Like, I assume all 40 of those songs aren't just like all fun summery songs. You know, you got multitudes in there. So.
I do. Maybe we'll show that soon.
I'd be very excited to listen to it, and I'm sure that your fans would as well. You also talked about, the aspect of performing and wanting to be, have a better stage presence and stuff like that. How do you practice that? How do you kind of get into that?
By not being scared of looking silly. I'd be practicing in my house, looking insane. I'd be practicing in front of my friends. I'm like, was that good, guys? I'd be practicing anywhere that lets me perform. I've been doing it. But thankfully, since I've been performing so much, I feel like I've been getting more traction. Like on social media, people see me perform, and they ask me like, "Oh, you should perform here." Like I've been doing a venue here and there, bar, restaurants, hustling.
Hustling, for sure. I've been seeing everything on social media that you've been doing. Tell me about some of these performances that you've done.
Well, last performance I've had, I did only English music because I really wanted to see how people would receive it. It felt more personal somehow. I don't know why. Half of my English music right now is just like R&B and pop, but they're all depressing lyrics-wise. I don't know why. And people really liked it. I sang a song. It was called like Magic. It's like a really slow song. It was the one that did the best. I'm like, everybody's like, oh my god. I'm like, ooh, you guys like that? I should release that, maybe. But yeah, I mean, it gave me perspective. That's what it is. Practice, perspective, and now I know what to do better. I feel like every performance just teaches me something. This was the first time I sang for 30 minutes. Usually I do like smaller, sets, but they give me 30 minutes and I found out you get really thirsty after a third song. I was dying. So I get thirsty when you have big bright lights on you. I was sweating horribly. I need to get some oil pads over there, but I've learned a few things.
And at this most recent performance, it seemed like you had a DJ with you as well.
Yes.
Was that somebody that you knew? How'd you guys end up meeting?
Oh, that's my good friend. That's his name is Andrew. He went to Brooklyn College with me. He's a producer, an artist as well. Actually, we had like the same music tech class with Jacob. It was freshman year. That's when I met him. And I heard his beats in class, and I was like, wait, I think I could sing to this. Do you want to collab with me? I was like, please. And he was like, yes. And we did like 3 songs together. We had a class together, heard his music. I asked him to collab. We did songs together, and I reached out to him again. He probably was like, please stop. I was like, I have this performance. Would you like to DJ for me? And he did. And we also performed a song that we did together. It's called Till Morning. It was really fun.
How amazing is that you're able to, go to class with a classmate, then reconnect later on and be able to do songs and perform live with them. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you've been able to get such like a good experience out of your, education at Brooklyn College, make connections and stuff like that. Yeah. Is it a little daunting though, coming out of a CUNY, trying to make it big, as this, star, coming from a CUNY?
Honestly, yeah, like I have a semester left, and I'm like, holy, the time passed by so fast. I think I've done things that I'm proud of, like the CUNY ad and all these things. And I also have learned a lot, and I've met good people like, Andrew. So at the same time, I'm excited. Like, it's scary, but it's exciting. Like, I know I'm going to do many more things, and opportunities are just going to come, you know?
Yeah. And they have already. I mean,
they have, yeah.
You know, I wanted to talk about the CUNY ad. I mean, that's phenomenal.
En tu cabeza siempre seré tú.
En CUNY produzco y grabo música y me hago un nombre a mi propio ritmo. Gracias a CUNY no tengo que preocuparme por los costos. Solo pienso en crear mi próxima canción. Ven conmigo y solicita CUNY hoy.
Tell me about that process of filming it and then eventually seeing that it's going to be featured in the Super Bowl.
Actually, they called me while I was at work to tell me it was at the Super Bowl. I'm like, what? oh. I was like, yeah, I told everybody. I was like, I'm going to be in the Super Bowl, guys. And then when I actually saw myself, I was like, wait, that's so cool. I'm putting this on my resume.
Yeah.
Definitely. But also they played it in the movie theater. I keep seeing it. I saw myself in the movie theater like a few weeks ago, yeah.
You're already on the big screen.
Stop it.
See, you're halfway there
I'm
already.
halfway there.
You're halfway there already.
Also,
Next up, it'll be for your music, though.
Yes. But also, I don't know if anybody, like, noticed at the beginning of the ad, it's my song, Tu Favorita, like, the single. So, guys, listen to it.
How much fun was that to do the CUNY ad? You know, what was the process of filming it and doing that and really, like, paying tribute to all that you've done in Brooklyn?
Oh, it was really fun. Nicole, she DM'd me, and I was like, yes, I'm so down. I'm always down. Any side quest, I'm like, down. Took a few months. We did it in the summer. It was really fun. We were trying to, like, work with what we had, because Brooklyn College, it is beautiful, but we don't have that many, like, rooms for, I guess, filming. And it was really funny when we did the part where I was, like, walking through campus. Everybody was just staring. I'm like, guys, I'm doing an ad. Stop it. I was just, like, walking, like, looking around. They were like, yeah, just look around. I'm like, yeah, okay. And they were recording that. I don't know, it was, like, funny, nice experience. And I don't know, I love recording stuff. Another ad? Yeah. No, but it was really fun. I liked it.
That kind of plays into the confidence that you mentioned and not being afraid to try new things and all those sorts of things. So, you know, in that, I wanted to ask about how you plan on promoting yourself going forward, you know, like making sure that your music and your stuff gets out there.
Ooh. I'm planning on posting a lot. For what I'm seeing, like, social media, it's the best bet for you nowadays. So, I'm just going to post a ton. I'm going to perform even more. Hopefully more people are going to want me to sing. Now they will. And literally just keep being consistent and not giving up, you know. Just keep posting and performing. Yeah, just keep being consistent with what I do.
I mean, you mentioned earlier, but hustling.
Basically, yeah.
Hustling. I mean,
keep hustling.
Every CUNY student knows hustling, you know, like in some capacity, whatever their field is. But for you, it's music, and you've been doing a wonderful job so far, and we're very excited to see what's next. And I wanted to ask, what is next for you? What are you planning on doing once you graduate?
Ooh. Well, what do I plan to do when I graduate? Good question. I feel like everybody's been asking me that. Probably work more, just, like, put all that money into my music videos. Honestly, when, like, you're an independent artist, like, you're paying everything yourself. So I need to found my music videos, my content, like, you know, and performing more and getting paid for it. That'd be nice. I've been getting paid here and there, but it's also, as every artist, like, that's the plan, getting paid for what you do. But at the beginning, it's always hard because, you know, you just take what you can get. And, yeah, like, posting more, I guess. And making that my job. Yeah. With a little more hustling, with a little more performing. I will get there, you know?
What are some of the difficulties that you've had being an independent artist in New York and also being a student at the same time?
Oh, horrible. I have no time. No time whatsoever. I've been, you know, every time I have a gig, like, I take days off from work, and then I have to do assignments at night and, like, not sleep so I could get it on time, or being forgetful because I have too many things to do. it's been a journey. So I'm glad we're almost done. But it was a nice journey, you know.
Yeah, has it been worth it? What was that balance like for you?
It's been worth it. I mean, it's always nice to say like you got your education, and I know more about the industry now, and I've made great connections. So I don't regret any of it, honestly. Everything happens for a reason. I always say that.
Yeah, great. I wanted to go back quickly to you meeting your producer and what that was like. How did you guys originally get in contact? And what did he do for you originally?
Originally, he was my music teacher. He's the one that taught me how to write songs, like formatting and everything, although we couldn't really communicate at the beginning.
How come?
Oh, I didn't speak English when I met him. Yeah, nice, yeah. So he was trying to like teach like this little girl how to write songs while she could not understand what he was saying. Nice. But after that, I've been working since I was like 14, and I've had like a few jobs with the company, like the after school program where I learned music. They made me like act in a movie. It was like a school project thing. They made me act in a movie, and I also was teaching little kids how to write songs. And there I saw him again, and we reconnected. But then he left to Miami. And then, yeah, I just like focused in school and just like getting that over with. But then when he came back, as I told you, like he reached out to me. I think he texted me because he had my phone number. And I was like, okay, this is a good opportunity to get back into the studio. And then, yeah, when we went to the studio, he was like, you got really good. You got really good. So he proposed to me, like, you know, to work together, and he believes in me. And now he's like my producer / manager, and we're trying to get myself out there. At least I have the music now. I feel like I'm getting better performing. And yeah.
Amazing. So what would you advise to CUNY students who are trying to make it in the music industry, and they're just starting out and they're just trying to find their way while also balancing school at the same time?
Keep going. And don't be afraid to like talk to your professors. I feel like many times, as I said, since I'm so busy, I get forgetful. But a lot of professors, like if you speak to them, they're truly like understanding, and like music professors too. They're so nice. Like what's it called, Brenner? Brenner. He's one of my music tech professors. Yeah. They're always so down to go to your gigs. They're so nice. Yeah. Like honestly, if you communicate, just keep going, and don't try not to stress yourself out. Yeah. Even if you can't sleep.
It's all going to work out in the end.
It's all going to work out in the end, honestly. And it's going to be worth it.
Yeah.
It's going to be worth it.
And you're going to get your big break soon, I'm sure of it.
I will.
This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning for you.
This is just the beginning.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time today, Emanuela. I appreciate it. And I'm so excited to hear more music coming out from you. Guys, go stream her song right now. Where can they find you?
Yo Unica music and all platforms.
Okay, well, we'll put a screen up for that as well, just to make sure
good.
that you guys can check it out. Okay?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure to check out CUNY Uncut on social media, and make sure to download the CUNY TV app. And as always, I'm your host, David Horn, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.